Hello, and welcome to my Let's Play on Iratus, Lord of the Dead. There is a very, very good chance you've never heard of this game before, because it is currently in very early alpha. But I saw this game, and I knew I had to play it, because it looks really, really solid. Now, if you haven't got a clue what this game is about, which we just established you probably don't, if you've ever heard or seen or played Darkest Dungeon, you'll know immediately how to play this game. It's incredibly similar, except in Darkest Dungeon you play as the good guys. In Iratus, Lord of the Dead, you play as the bad guys. So the roles are reversed. There are some new mechanics and things like that. Obviously the game has some differences, because otherwise it'd be a carbon copy. It's not made by the same developers, and that would just be a copyright infringement. But it is a very similar system, and you'll see that as we get into the game. If you've never seen or heard or played Darkest Dungeon, then just wait, and you'll see. Basically, it's a turn-based strategy RPG type game. Anyway, without any further ado, I should probably jump into the game. I have played a little bit of this game before. I had to play the tutorial even to get to the Cakewalk and More Pain game modes, which are basically the regular campaign. Cakewalk, easy mode, More Pain, normal mode, and Good Always Wins is the hard mode, which unfortunately is locked behind the More Pain. If I finish a campaign or a game with the More Pain difficulty, then I will unlock Good Always Wins, but I'm pretty sure I'm happy that I haven't unlocked it yet. So I'm going to jump into More Pain. We're going to call this one Donkey. There is no cutscene currently when you start a campaign, but I will just edit one in, because there is one when you start the game, and I'll shove that one in there. So let's do it. Right, so hopefully you just watched a cutscene, if I remember to edit it in, which hopefully I did. There is one option that I changed before I jumped in here, which you didn't see because I did it beforehand. Basically, you have an option to get a predetermined set of minions to control. I turned that off, which gives me more resources to create my own army, if you will. If you start with that turned on, you get a couple of predetermined dudes, which some of them I might not want to use, because I have an idea of what kind of build I want to go for. There's all kinds of builds you can go for. So let's start with that, I suppose. Like I said, I turned that off, so I have more resources available to build my own crew. The minions, I will actually, let's start off with some disclaimers, I suppose. This first episode, and possibly the first couple episodes, are going to be a little bit slow. I'm very sorry about that, but there is a lot of reading, a lot of understanding of mechanics, characters, etc. to do, and I don't want to go in all willy-nilly. I want to be somewhat educated on what I'm doing and not just randomly click buttons. If you don't like that slow style, I'm very sorry, but maybe skip some minutes or don't watch the whole campaign. I don't know, it's up to you. But you have been warned. A warning for you. Another, not disclaimer, but a message, I guess. If you guys want any characters in this game, you can name the characters, or your minions, I should say. I have some names already from my Discord. Mostly my patrons, a couple non-patrons as well. I will be prioritizing my patrons. But if you want a character or a minion in my game, then please feel free to let me know. And I'll pop you in once I have enough minions die that I need more. I think that's it for disclaimers and general messages that I want to let you guys know. So I guess let's quickly go through all characters. I'm not going to spend too much time on them because I do know kind of what they do. Like I said, it is going to be a slow episode, but I'm not going to take too long. I'm trying not to take too long anyway. So Bride of Iratus is the first minion. This is a ranged character that likes hanging out in the back. Mostly based on physical attacks. I should actually, that's one thing I should probably explain. All the stats, we have attack, dread, accuracy, luck, armor, block, ward, and initiative. So attack is either your physical or magical damage. This can be blocked with block and also armor. The way that works, armor basically works in a very simple way. 1 armor blocks 1 damage. So say you have 5 armor, an enemy hits you for 7, you take 2 damage. And it only blocks physical damage, I should actually say. So there are basically the attack is based off of both your. Let's see, a character has both. You have magic attacks as well as physical attacks. This guy's attack, magic attack, it's based off the same stat, but magical attacks don't get blocked by armor. So anyway, Attack can be physical or magical. Dread is stress. Now, if you've played Darkest Dungeon, you'll know stress is a mechanic that you have to control on your own characters. In this game, the roles are reversed. The human, or AI, I suppose, the enemies anyway, the good guys, if you will, they have stress. We don't. We can cause stress to the enemies, and we can actually kill them off with stress. They can have heart attacks. They can also flee off the battlefield because they're too stressed. Things such as that. That is our second way of killing and, well, just attacking enemies in general. Accuracy speaks for itself. Luck is basically critical chance. Armor, I already explained, it only blocks physical. Block is basically, if you have one block, you can block you just nullify an entire physical attack. Ward is the same, but for magical attacks and spells. And initiative, of course, determines the order in which creatures act. So, that is the explanation of the stats. Now, characters. As I said, the Bride of Iratus is kind of mostly focused on physical. She has some stress attack as well, but she's very focused on physical attacks. Then we have the Dark Knight, who is kind of a tanky character. He has a very small amount of health. In fact, I think it's the lowest in the entire game as it is right now. There are currently 9 characters. I'm sure more will be added later on. But yeah, he has 60, but he has 11 armor, which is quite high. So he blocks 11 of each physical attack, which is pretty good. But 60 health is kind of worrying, because that is very low. He also is very physical attack based. He's got a couple of stress attacks as well, but very physical. He has an interesting attack, for example, We're All Nothing. It's a massive physical attack that deals triple the current armor. So say you have 11 armor, it deals 33 damage, but then you lose all your armor, and you have to be in the back 2 spaces to even use it. Then we have the skeleton. Is a very generic, kind of a little bit tanky. He's got 100 HP, which is not bad, and 5 armor. Very generic, but honestly quite decent unit. Has a very nice stance ability. Stance is basically an ability you use, and then it lasts until your next turn. Gives him 10 extra armor, so that makes him up to 15 armor. And then every time he gets hit, or doesn't get hit, if he just gets attacked anyway, he strikes back with stress damage, which is quite nice. Has all kinds of stuff though. Zombie is kind of a gunslinger, or mostly like a blunderbuss guy. He's got grape shot, very small amount of damage, but still hits 3 enemies, which is quite nice. Stress attack as well, hitting all enemies in the entire line. All kinds of stuff. You'll also notice that each character has a kind of an ultimate here. You can see it costs 1 of this, right here in the top right, which is a soul. And that is obviously a resource, so you don't want to use this too much, because you can run out of souls, and then you can't use that anymore if you need it in a pinch. Yeah, he's a gunslinger, if you will. The Banshee is incredibly stress-based. She has mostly stress attacks. Her stance is very similar to this Overwatch ability. This Overwatch ability is a stance where whenever an enemy moves, it deals 75% damage to it, ignores armor. She has a similar one, but for stress, which is quite nice, and it's a very high amount of stress too. The mummy, not the zombie, has all kinds of stuff. He's a bit of a healer, a buffer, a debuffer, things like that. He has stress attacks, magical attacks, physical attacks. He's got all kinds of stuff, and a ton of HP. I think the highest in the game. The Lich is I think this is my favorite character when it comes to his abilities, like how interesting they are. He essentially sacrifices your own units to do a ton to the enemy unit. So this, for example, deals 125% damage to one of your minions. You can't target it, it's random, and 2 random enemies. So you deal a bunch of damage to your own minion and to 2 random enemies as well. Control Undead buffs an enemy unit. The Toxic Cloud is very nice. It creates a cloud on an enemy position for 2 turns. Every time they move through it, they take a bunch of stress damage. Armageddon is insane. Hits everyone on the field, allies and enemies, for a bunch of fire damage. Also shuffles everyone around, which is incredible. Sacrifice literally kills one of your own minions, restoring some mana, which is this up here, which can be used throughout the combat. And then heals all your other units as well. And then he can summon a skeleton or zombie. I don't know why I went through all of his abilities, but probably because I think he's one of the most interesting ones. Headhunter, 90 HP and 8 armor, pretty decent unit to be honest. He is all about physical attack. He's got a stress attack as well, but a lot of physical stuff, which is quite interesting as well. And then finally we have the Shade, which is really, I know I keep using the word interesting, but he really is. This guy has no attack, yet most of his attacks are based on attack. The way it works is that he has percentage-based attacks. So for example, his first one, the main one, is it deals magical damage to any target that moves into the cloud which you place on the final tile. That's the only place you can where you can place it, equal to 25% of the target's current health. So it's a 25% health. That's quite a lot in this game, honestly. And then, for example, this one, the target takes a magical damage equal to 50. There's, like I said, grammatical. There shouldn't be a magical. It's just magical damage equal to 50% of the sanity that it is missing. So there you go. Now I may need to create my team. I'm gonna go for kind of a stress build. I really like the Banshee. She's quite strong, so I'm definitely gonna build a Banshee.
You will learn to enjoy your wretched existence.
All right, sorry about that. I had to put my names back on my screen, so maybe saw my Windows screen for a second there. So yeah, we got a Banshee. I want to get a zombie as well, I think. I'm not 100% sure about the zombie. I don't like him that much, but he does have a ton of HP. He's very tanky, so that's quite useful to have. And he's got a lot of stress attacks as well, which is useful. So we're going to create one of him as well. Craft one.
The curse of my tomb to the world.
I want a generic skeleton. The skeleton and the zombie don't really work too well together either, because the skeleton, or sorry, the mummy, for example, removes all debuffs from allies, and the mummy heals free vigor for each debuff you take. Skeletons have a natural inability to get buffed or debuffed. The mummy has a feature as well. Enemies become very unlucky. The skeleton, as you'll see, has a feature which makes him immune to buffs and debuffs, so he can't be buffed or debuffed. So it kind of doesn't really work well together with the skeleton, but still with the mummy. But the skeleton has is just a generically quite decent unit, I find. So I'm going to create one of those as well. And then finally, I want another nice and tanky zombie unit, 6 armor as well. Just nice and tanky. Also has a nice smoke shot ability, which does a bunch of stress damage, not too much, but still. And also grape shot, which is good for getting rid of armor. Block, because it hits 3 different enemies and it gets rid of a block on each of them if they have it, of course. Plus he's just kind of tanky and nice to sit in the front. So I'm not going to create any more characters because we currently don't need any more. You can only bring 4 into combat. I will be naming these guys though. I have a couple names already, like I said. So our Banshee is going to be... Let's make this... let's make it Simba. Oh, not Skimba. Simba. Our zombie is going to be Sived. I tried Sived, there's no apostrophe. Sorry, mate. We have a skeleton, a mindless skeleton. Why don't we make that Bjorn? Because Bjorn is a bit mindless himself. And finally, we have Spinteris, the zombie. Sounds good. Now, before we jump into combat, which we'll do very shortly, don't worry. We have our infantry here. Not really a lot to show you here, but there's our infantry. We have a kind of skill tree, if you will, where we can either buff things that we can do in combat, such as all minions receive +5 initiatives for the 3 following actions. Cost 5 mana. Or we can go into alchemy. Currently, this is tactics is currently locked in this build. I like going for alchemy. The ability to convert one type of resource to another is quite useful. It does cost 3, but if I want to keep going for this like this build basically of going for stress mostly, then I will probably want to create more of these characters, and I might not need certain resources, so I can change those over for resources that I do need. And then surgical practice increases the chance of receiving skulls, heads, bones, and bodies at the end of a battle by 15%. So make sure we can keep our army up, because we'll certainly need to. We had 3 points to start with. Each one in here costs 1, each one in here costs 2. There are 3 and then 4 in the outer ring. We have over here, we can do transmutation. So yeah, converts 3 items of one type to another. So I can put in, I don't know, 3 armors and create a weapon, for example. Don't want to do that right now, but still. These are the things we can unlock later on in the alchemy tree. And then finally we have Iratus. This, I don't know what this does exactly. It's an inventory, so we can give him items. I haven't gotten this far into the game yet. But yeah, we can give him items, and I guess that does things for us. So that is it that we can do here. So we're going to jump in. We can rearrange the order if you want, but I want these characters to be in these particular places. I can show you why, but you already probably saw when I went over the abilities. She likes to be in the back. Zombie likes being anywhere really, but mostly in the middle 2 spaces. Only we can't use Cursing Touch. He likes to be in the middle 2 spaces as well, can do most of his things, in fact all of his things in the middle 2 spaces. And then he likes to be in the front 2 spaces, which is where he can do most of his stuff. So, let us jump into the mines. The kingdom had need of the vast riches buried underneath the castle, great veins of iron that promised to fuel conquest after conquest. Along with ancient artifacts from a long-forgotten age, the dwarves were eager to offer their services in this project, bringing their untested mining equipment and experimental concoctions for the promise of wealth. They only needed bodies that could obey, and that the humans could provide. With dungeons filled to the brim, both criminals and rebels, there was no shortage of slaves to work these mines. Drugs were used to keep them docile as they dug ever deeper, year after year, unaware of the mortal danger that awaited them below. Alright. Let's do it. Right. Our first battle. Oh wow, this guy has got crazy initiative apparently. So we have 2 conscripts, the front and the back. We have a miner and we have a guard. So what I can tell you right now, what I know about these characters, is that the conscripts kind of just, like they did just there, they just kind of stab you. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but still. The miner has a pretty decent double strike ability where he hits you twice. He can do a fuck ton of damage if he hits, which he generally does. The guard seems to almost always go into a defensive stance, which is kind of like what we have with the Banshee as well, for example. Where every time one of our characters moves, he deals damage to them, which is kind of nice. And actually, that's it, the conscript at the back as well. So, currently, our skeleton, unfortunately, took a hit right away. I think with him, I'm going to go into Astounding Fortitude. I want to go get my extra armor, and then every time he gets hit, he will deal damage to the attacker. Unfortunately, we couldn't do it before the enemy got a turn, but that is what I'm going to do. Second conscript gets a turn. Hits our tanky zombie, that's alright. Our Banshee here. I think we're going to put you immediately into no. I can do a stress attack right now. Try and push someone back. I'm not sure how much movement we're really going to be causing right now. The zombie can move someone. He won't. He can, but he's currently not going to be doing that. Let's start by stressing some people out. Let's stress out the miner and push him back. Oh wow, a crit. Our first attack's a crit. That's pretty crazy. That's a lot of stress immediately. Good start. It's a bit less good, but there's his defensive stance. He moves back as well. So the thing that we want to do is we want to hit this guy and move him forward. Because if we move someone who's in a stance, it actually loses their stance. Unfortunately, though, because he has a block currently, we will actually not be able to hit him with this, I'm pretty sure. But we still need to get rid of it at some point, so I might as well. I don't want to use this because it moves me forward, which means he gets a hit. So let's just try and get him forward. I'm pretty sure he can't because he blocks it. So yeah, he's still in his stance because of that, unfortunately. I think with you, Smoke Shot is nice. It does a bunch of stress, which is what we want to do. And also loses them all accuracy for their next attack. So we're going to go ahead and try a Smoke Bomb. Missed 2 of them, but debuffed 2 of them as well. Unfortunately, not enough for him to miss, but oh well. Right, so you can push people. Unfortunately, if I were to push, I would also move myself. He's still in a stance, so we would do damage to them in the way of stress, but then we would also take damage on the skeleton, which we don't really want to do. So I'm going to put him back in his tanky stance and hope that he gets attacked at some point. And there you go. Missed, and he's going to do stress in return. 24, not too shabby. Right, she is going to, I think, keep doing what she's doing. I don't think there's any point right now in trying to go into no, because I don't really have much movement that I can currently do unless I pull this guy forward. So I'm going to do this again on the miner, try and stress him the fuck out. Oh wow, another crit. That's insane. He's already insane. He's won berserk, in fact, and tried to hit his own friend. Unfortunately, he missed. Nice stab from the... okay, so he's currently not moving or he's not going to be countering our moves anymore, so we can do something about that. He has a 50% chance of attacking allies. So this girl has 12% chance of critting, and she crit twice already. I should say it's girl, but it's Simba, isn't it? So you, I think I want to try moving people now, or at least I can do that after she's in her stance, because currently there's no real point in doing that. So I think we're going to be... I think I'm still going to move... I'm going to move this guy forward. He's also debuffed. Minus 10 luck. Right. I think we're going to once again do another smoke shot, which will stress this guy out a lot. He 3% more damage taken, which is nice. Unfortunately, this guy didn't attack my tanky dude. Right. Pushing once again doesn't do anything because she's not in her stance yet, so I don't know what I want to do with him really. I could just try and do a stress attack right away. I could try and kill this guy with a heart attack. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. He didn't, unfortunately. We did move forward though, so we took that hit. Right, I'm going to go with her into no now. So now, whenever an enemy moves, they're going to... There. Take some stress damage. Unfortunately, once again, didn't kill him. He's in defensive stance now. But because he moved, he's going to take some stress damage as well. We can immediately try and pull him forward, which I will do. And which will make him take some stress damage and lose his stance as well. So we can now freely move again without any worry. I could try and make them produce stress again. There's a good chance this guy will die. I mean, that's really what we're going for, because damage-wise, I haven't done shit to them yet. So I'm going to keep smoke-shotting them. Unfortunately, that guy missed. Oh, there you go. They both still died from a heart attack, which is nice. These guys are both have minus 30 accuracy. Still hit, unfortunately. Skeleton Man. I can't shield bang right now. I can go into my defensive stance, which I guess I will do. I could attack them with melee, but they both have 2 blocks as well. We're not going to kill them this way. We need to keep trying to stress them out. Like, there you go. She... Yeah, we're going to scream at this one. This is going to be insane damage. Oh, I hit a different one. Oh, crap. Right, my bad. It only hits the guy in the front row, I guess. I'm not sure. Maybe it was random. I actually should have read that. Yeah, we'll do some more stress to... Unfortunately, I'm going to move him all the way to the back where he can't really do much, but... Try and kill you off. There you go. Heart attack for him. You can do something, but not a lot. I can... Yeah, I can... Thunder... No, I can't do this because he's not in one of the free back slots, so I can't actually do much with you. I can do this, but it costs me a thingamajig, and he's going to block it anyway. So I can't really do much. We're going to take some damage here, unfortunately. I'm just going to have to shoot him for nothing, essentially. Ah, he decided to run away. Okay. Which means we don't get his loot. In fact, we barely got any loot, which is surprising, actually, but I'll take it. We won and didn't really take too much damage either, so that's good. Right, so now we get to choose a boon. Heart. Once every 3 turns, ignores block, ward, and armor until next turn. Start combat in the 3rd position. 3% chance to kill when dealing stress damage until end of combat. That's good, but this is armor, so we gotta remember that not all dudes need armor to be built, which means you can't use this. So for example, the zombie likes to be in the 3rd position, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't need any armor to be built, so you couldn't even use this on him. And the skull, every turn while there are 3 or fewer minions, +1 ward until the end of combat. That seems pretty good. Ward is the magical protection, which currently doesn't do anything because we're coming up against melee guys, but this could be pretty good in the late game. 3 or fewer minions. Although does that... Oh, that's only for my minions though. So if we lost someone in combat, that's not for 3 or fewer enemies. I'm still going to take it. Alright, and there you go. We're back here. I'm going to do one more, but we should probably make some characters before we jump into anything. Because these guys are kind of wounded, so I should take them out and put in some people who are not wounded. Let's see. This would be pretty good on one of these 2 dudes, I think. Having some ward at the front row. I'm not sure. Maybe the ward is generally... Or magical attacks are probably going to be in the back more than the front. I'm not sure. Either way, I think I want to... I can only build... let's see. I need bones for you. I need no bones for him. So I can build one of each, but we'll have to use this anyway. So let's build you with this one, and then fill in the rest of random generic stuff.
Bones, bones, bones.
And I will want one of you as well. We're almost out of stuff now. We can actually build a shade, which is definitely still a character I think would fit in this army as well, because we do a lot of stress damage, and then this guy can do Gloom Claws. Target takes magical damage equal to 50% of the sanity that is missing, which is a lot of damage. The thing is that we are not really going for physical any other way. So he would just do a bunch of physical damage, or well, magical damage, but health damage, I should say. And it doesn't really do much unless my other characters also hit him physically. But anyway, this guy, it says he's level 2. Oh, it's determined by the quality of parts. I didn't know that. Well, there you go. We're going to shove him here and you here. And I need some names. So our current skeletons are Bjorn and Spintress. Right, who else is mindless in this list here? You know what? Max, you're a bit mindless, aren't you? And then finally a zombie. We're going to put in Scythe Massacre. He's going to be massacring some people with his blunderbuss. Sounds good. Right. We have some points to spend, I believe. We have 1, which means I can't put in here because I need 3 for that. So I could go for one of these other things, or I can keep going into alchemy. Ability to craft 1 higher quality item from 4 identical basic resources. Probably not something I want to do for a while. It gives the ability to craft special resources from basic ones. And replace parts in a minion if both parts are the same type. Okay. Could also save up for this, which is pretty good. Increase the chance of receiving better quality bits at the end of battle by 35%. Yeah, I think I might just save up for that. Let's jump into the next battle, which is right here. Alright. Oh, this time we got... Oh man, are we gonna get a turn? Okay, we have a Taskmaster who can buff enemies, which is interesting. So he's got plus 18 accuracy. Okay, so we really don't want to be moving right now, that's for damn sure. A couple miners too, which are quite strong, a lot better than the conscript. So this is actually going to be a tough one, I think. Let's see. I think we're going to go defensive. Start with the Astounding Fortitude again. And hope the miners attack him and not my big old dude. Alright, he does double attack, but he takes a bunch of stress in return. Good start. Only took 5. Right, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to move them for a while. I definitely won't be able to move this guy, so I shouldn't do that. I can do this because it doesn't move me. In fact, it moves him, which is probably good here. Oh, it missed. That's a bit unfortunate. I can try and move him, but currently because he's got 1 block, it doesn't actually do anything. Might be worth trying... No, he's got 3, so definitely won't do anything against him. Don't want to do this because it moves me forward. I don't have a lot I can do here. I can do a tiny bit of magical damage, which seems fairly pointless here. So I think I'm just gonna... Let's move this guy forward. At least it does something to him. He's gonna hopefully attack, yep, him again. Strike twice, both misses, nice. And some grit for you, nice. That always reduces the sanity on all of them, which is really, really good. You're going to keep smoke shotting. I think that's just generally the best we can do here, is hitting all of them with a little bit of a debuff. He's got buffed, probably accuracy again, 16. He's not going to be missing too much anymore. This guy's even further back now. Right, well this has been working out really well for you, so you keep defending. Hopefully he attacks you. Was that the guy with increased accuracy? No, it wasn't. I was going to say, that's unfortunate for him if it was. Right, I want to try pulling this guy again. Alright, this time we got him. Which, oh, it didn't actually... Wait, was I wrong about that? Did it not pull him? I thought... Oh, maybe it pushed him backwards, or supposed to, but he's already in the back, so it didn't do shit. Well, that was my bad. You, once again, can't do shit against this guy. I don't want to move still, because that would get hit by him, who's got a buff as well, so... I think we're just gonna be... Let's just do this to him. He's not gonna do anything, because he's got the block, but at least next time we can do it then. Ooh, that is a bit painful. Alright, we're gonna keep chucking bombs at these fellas. Another crit, nice. He's berserk now, so he's got a 50% chance of attacking his allies, which is always great. Whipped his buddy. He's back in defensive stance and back in the back. Yep, they're gonna go keep doing that because that's really working out well for you. There it is. Glad I did that. Otherwise, I would have taken 20 more damage. He's gone berserk as well. A lot of friendly fire possibly going to happen soon. Right, yeah, this one pushes backwards, so that's why I didn't do shit against him. Gotcha. Right, well, I'm going to go into... No! Now. Because now I can start moving people. such as him. He doesn't have a block anymore, so he's going to be moved unless he somehow dodges this. And he's going to take stress damage too. I love that combo, it's so nice. He's going for the... Oh, I missed twice, but berserking. At least he didn't hit me either, so that's good. Although, to be fair, if he hit my skeleton, he would have taken more stress, so that could have been good too. I think we're gonna keep trying to stress out. This guy, he's only really got one thing he can do, but it is really quite good, to be fair. It's really adding up. Oh my god, he just... he lost. That's funny. His teammate stressed him out, and then he died from her. That's hilarious. Alright, I think we're gonna start going on the offensive. Shieldbanger doesn't work, because I'll move forward and take damage from him, which we don't want. Oh wow, plus 20 to 23 attack. We really don't want to get hit by him right now. And I can't move him either. I can only move him backwards, which he's already at the back, so it doesn't do anything. So we're going to have to do something else, such as a double attack, or just go into this stance again. I don't think there's any real point, but yeah, let's do that. The little bit of damage we can do isn't going to make any difference either. Right, do you go into no again, or do you just stress out someone to no end again? I'm going to go no again. Yeah, because I'm about to pull again with you. Which will probably kill him from stress. A crit as well. Stress out the rest of them. This guy's gone insane too. Or not yet. That guy berserking his teammate again. This is a really good combo so far. Alright, this could kill someone. I'm surprised this guy hasn't died yet from stress, to be honest. Stressing out his teammate. And, oh, I missed. That could have easily been the kill right there. Man, she is really good against him. It's insane. Oh. Nice. And they both died from that, so now it's just the Taskmaster. Who are you going to buff now, friend? Let's just straight up stress attack him. And then, why don't we do the scream at you? It's a lot of stress he's going to take. Oh, that is the second time that's missed. Alright, you can do a stress attack on him too. And he's died from that, from a heart attack. Nice. I'm loving the stress. Oh, there we go. There's our loot. A lot of uncommon stuff too. Okay, that was way better loot than last time. I'll take that. 3 souls too. That was a great, great battle. And we got every turn while vigor is below 30% extra action. Oh my god, that's insane. Every turn while vigor is below 50% plus 12 luck until the end of combat. And start combat in first position plus 5 attack until the end of combat. Okay, so that would be my zombie. He gets plus 5 attack if I recruit another zombie and give him this. Which doesn't do jack because he's never using that. It could be good if I go for a different build at some point, but I think right now this one seems really good. If I happen to go below 30% vigor, I'd get an extra attack. That's incredible. Or an extra action, I should say. Right, that is going to be that for now, though. These guys healed up a little bit. Man, this worked out really well so far. This combo. I didn't expect this to work as well as it did, or as it has, really. I'm sure once we come up against different enemies, it's going to be terrible, but we'll see when that happens. For now, though, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Iratus, something of the dead. What's his name again? Lord of the Dead. Until next time, thank you very much for watching. Have a good day, and goodbye.